today. After his cousin left, Chen Yang went directly to the stall rented by his father. It is estimated that he will spend here until midnight tonight. There is a lot of time, and it will take a while to finish shopping here. When I arrived at my own stall, my parents were not there. The vegetable piles on the left and in the middle were full of people, and only the piles of unorganized vegetable bags were piled up on the right. It seems that this is what my father rented. A middle-aged man saw him swaying in front of the stall and still stood still, so he came out from behind and asked, "Little boy, what are you doing?" Those who came here at this time must not have been purchased, so his tone did not appear particularly polite and enthusiastic. Chen Yang smiled at him first, and said, "I'm Lao Chen's son, is my dad's position this one?" "Oh, old Chen's son," the man immediately put on a smile, "that's right, it's here. I've heard that he has a son who is going to college. He's really a good-looking talent. What are you? Are you coming over to play during the summer vacation?" "Yeah." Chen Yang smiled without explaining too much. Looking at the pile of vegetable bags, he prepared to tidy them up. In his previous life, he was unwilling to do this kind of hard work, and his parents would not let him do it. Now that he is a human being in his second life, he will naturally not be so ignorant. The placement of vegetables is also particular. It is necessary to put a pack of each vegetable at the front, so that people who come to buy goods know what is sold here. As for the rest, they should be arranged along a line, such as turnips and cabbage, which are relatively heavy, should be placed in the front, so that when you take them, you need to walk less and save effort. Other small cabbages such as cabbage and garlic sprouts should be placed in the back, and it is not necessary to walk a few more steps. Will be too tiring. After 20 minutes of sweating, he finally arranged all the goods. Chen Yang raised his shoulders and wiped his sweat. Looking at the vegetables in front of him, he felt an indescribable sense of satisfaction in his heart. There are not many varieties of vegetables here, mainly white radish, cabbage, cauliflower and garlic sprouts. Not only their own stalls, but this street basically sells these varieties. Customers who want to buy this kind of goods also know that they need just come here when the time comes, which is another manifestation of the cluster effect. It's okay, young man. I have seen many college students who come here to visit relatives, but there are not many who are willing to help out like you. The man came over just now and handed him a thermos cup. Come on, drink some water, this is your dad's cup. People who do this kind of business earn their lives, and every penny must be counted clearly. Naturally, they don't buy any mineral water. They boil it at home and drink it in a thermos. Thank you. Chen Yang took it over, picked up the cup and looked at it, and it was indeed the labor insurance cup issued by the unit. This cup accompanied Dad for more than 10 years, and it was not thrown away until he passed away. If it was in his previous life, he would dislike even his father's cup, because he never used other people's things to drink and eat. Now, he opened the lid and took a sip. Well, my mouth is still full of tea foam, and my father's habit of drinking low-quality strong tea has not changed. Put down the cup, lie down on the second-hand recliner at the back, rest for a while, and saw my father pedaling a tricycle not far away, full of vegetable bags, and did not see my mother. Chen Yang immediately got up and walked over. Why are you here? Dad gave him a strange look. When he came to Guangzhou last summer, this kid only came to the stall once, and he refused to come again. Then he saw that the goods at his stall had been stacked. Well, and it still looks good, which makes it even more strange. Chen Yang smiled, and before he could speak, a few people at the stall next to him started talking. Old Chen, you are lucky, your son has helped you arrange all the goods. That's right, my son doesn't even hold the soy sauce bottle upside down at home, half as good as he is. Your son is promising at first glance, and he is also a college student. Old Chen, you will be blessed for the rest of your life. Hey, there's nothing to brag about doing something. Father Chen waved his hand, but there was an uncontrollable smile on his face, and his squinted eyes could shine. Chen Yang laughed coordinatingly, and began to move the goods down. The goods in this car are iron cabbage, that is, broccoli, which are quite heavy and need to be placed in the front. He thought of it just now, so every row of goods there are only 2 packs, so it's no problem to squeeze out now, as long as it doesn't affect the aisle. When Father Chen saw it, he quickly started to move the goods. 2 people started to arrange all the goods in a few strokes. Then he looked at Chen Yang and said with a straight face, there is still a truckload of goods to be pulled, you can watch it here on. Chen Yang hurriedly said, I'll go with you. Anyway, there's no fear of loss of goods here, and it's faster if you have more people. This is true. Not to mention a few packages of goods, some people even use plastic bags to carry hundreds of thousands of goods in the market, and they are absolutely guaranteed to be safe. The security team in this market is all young and strong from their own village. The villagers, when they were a bit chaotic in the early years, no matter if it was a petty theft or a fight, if they caught them, they would kill them. As time passed, no one dared to mess around here. Father Chen glanced at him blankly, and couldn't help but show some relief on his face. Then he turned around and got on the tricycle, and rode back. Chen Yang hurriedly followed behind. I shipped it again, and finally got all the goods back. Not long after, Chen's mother also came over. Seeing Chen Yang, she breathed a sigh of relief, and then called out, I said, where have you been? I didn't see you when I went back just now, and I didn't answer the phone, for fear of getting lost. Father Chen immediately rolled his eyes, where can such a big person get lost? What a fuss. Chen Yang quickly took out his mobile phone to check, and sure enough, there were 2 mothers who did not answer the calls, so he smiled, I was moving goods just now, I didn't hear. Yo. Did you move this thing? Mama Chen ignored Papa Chen, and looked at the neatly packed packages at the stall, with a smile on her face. My son has grown up. Without saying a few words, Chen's mother started to get busy. Arranging goods is one aspect, and the goods that come in need to be rearranged, which is very cumbersome, so women usually do it. How to organize it? For example, cabbage, reading www.ukanshu.com needs to take out the goods in bags, peel off the outer layer of rotten leaves, and then put them back neatly, and cauliflower, a few of which have black spots on the surface, need to cut it off with a knife, and the rest needs to be cleaned up more or less. Otherwise the people who buy the goods will come to see that other people's goods are beautiful and tidy, and yours looks like it was picked up from the garbage dump. Who would buy it? My mother is busy, and Chen Yang is not idle either. He is busy back and forth to help take out the dishes, and wait for my mother to clean up a batch, and then put them back in order. It's easy to hold and put a lot of time. At this time, it was Father Chen's rest time. He took out a canned bottle from his bag, which contained high-grade liquor in bulk, and took out a pack of homemade peanuts, and drank it one mouthful at a time. I got some wang. It's not that Dad is being lazy, but in the second half of the night, he is the main force. Mom wants to sell goods, and the sold goods will be delivered to the car by Dad. Work hard, but if you make a mistake, the old customers will not come to you again. There is no way, the market is too competitive, and the small bosses of each stall must do their best to ensure that they will not lose money. As for making money, it depends on whether God rewards or not. The wholesale price of vegetables changes too fast, and a heavy rain can cause prices to rise and fall. Because I misjudged the market, I brought a cart of cabbage from outside, and as a result, the boss who had saved for several years was lost, and my whole mental head was also knocked out. It is the normal state of this business that the pay is not proportional to the gain. Looking at the parents in front of him, Chen Yang became more and more determined to change this life. Change. Start today. More